Hey everybody, Bruce here, KB45 Modern Warrior. So there's a bunch of discussion going on about revival this week. A bunch of the young guys over at group last night, they're talking about it. Interestingly, the older guys are keeping an eye on it too. So wanted to talk about shepherding and revival. So the revival, there's some stuff going on back east at college. It's been a pretty big deal. Took off a couple days after the Super Bowl. We're almost 2 weeks past that now, and they shut it down because it was just getting so big. I heard that there was like a mile and a half on the sidewalk, people lined up trying to get in. So wanted to talk about shepherding and that revival a little bit. So in the book of John, chapter 10, verses 1 through 11, Jesus goes into discussion about being a good shepherd and the qualities of a good shepherd. And in that, he talks about how he'll lay his life down for his sheep. And that's what the good shepherd does. So, obviously, Jesus was talking about, how he would go to the cross and be crucified for us. But the way we can look at that in our time is that, time is life. So if you give your time, you're giving your most valuable, commodity, the most valuable thing you have, really, because anything else can be replaced or rebuilt or whatever throughout, your lifetime. Okay, so as we look at that, think about that, and we think about shepherding and giving your life as a good shepherd, then we can draw on that and say that giving your time is essentially giving your life. And as we look at that, I think there's a responsibility with, if there is a revival happening, that there's a responsibility of those that are in place, that you may not be ready to be a shepherd, but you have some capacity to do that no matter what, as long as you have a little bit more knowledge than whoever else is there with you, right? So, and to the new people coming into it, that maybe you just received Christ, maybe you're curious about it, maybe you have been a part of that revival, and you're looking for a new home where you can study, and maybe it's a church family, maybe it's a small group, maybe it's just somebody discipling you around you. So hopefully what I've got to say will be beneficial to both sides. And I wanted to start with a verse from Jeremiah, and this would be for the the new people. And it says, it's Jeremiah 3:15, and it says, "And I will give you shepherds according to my heart, who will feed who will feed you with knowledge and understanding." So God has promised to provide, people to bring you along, to help you learn, to help you understand what's going on, and to help you in your walk. But you also have a role to play in that, because I wanted to take a verse from the book of Acts, so you have some responsibility in it, those of you that are new to it. And basically, it's chapter 17, verse 11 in Acts. And Paul and Silas were going out spreading the gospel, and some places they were meeting resistance, and some places they were being accepted easily. And Paul's writing this, though, at that stage. He says in verse 11, "These were more fair-minded than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness and searched the scriptures daily to find out whether these things were so." So, for you guys new believers, you need to vet whoever's helping you, okay? You can't just take everything at face value. We had a discussion just last night with my small men's group, with the young guys, and so we have a whole diversity. We have a lot of young guys, we have a lot of old guys, okay? Me and another guy try to lead that, and it kind of gets into a free-for-all sometimes, but we try to lead it. But anyway, our comments to them were, we actually brought this verse up, and we said that you guys need to be doing your own research. You need to be looking at what's going on, and you need to be testing us as well. And that's what Paul's writing about here in the book of Acts. Except for in the book of Acts, Paul wrote that to say that, you know, they were looking into the Old Testament and it was predicting Jesus's coming, and that through that research it was proof of their testimony that it was true. So that's, you know, a big part of that. So you guys that are new, make sure that you're not, you know, being shepherded by a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? So you know, part of, and for shepherds, this is for you guys and for the new guys or new ladies, whoever it may be. When shepherds in the old days, when even now there's shepherds in other countries, but in the biblical times, shepherds, their primary function was to feed and nurture and protect the flock. So those are like the three basics. So as you are doing what you do with your group, and you may be, you know, being a shepherd and leading, and you may be learning from someone else at the same time. You know, even the best still have mentors that they look to. So just be careful, because there's accountability everywhere, you know. So I also wanted to give you guys this text. So it's Ecclesiastes 7, it's verse 12, and if you're not familiar, Ecclesiastes is in the Old Testament. It's written by Solomon, one of the wisest men that ever lived. And Solomon wrote this. He said, "For wisdom is a defense, as money is a defense." So he's talking about how you can purchase, you know, safety, but he's going on to explain how wisdom can create safety as well. So the second half of that verse is, "But the excellence of knowledge is that wisdom gives life, and those who have it." I'm sorry, to those who have it. Sorry. So this book, studying this text, vet who you're around, you know, start to form and understand your own theology as far as how you want to, you know, that's what denominations are, okay? I don't want to get into all that, but, you know, there's groups that are very charismatic, there's groups that are very non-charismatic, and, you know, you'll just have to find out what camp you fall in, okay? I'm not going to weigh in on my opinion on either side of that. I would just say, for all of the people in the shepherding camp in this video, these young people, if they're on fire, do not quench that flame. Come alongside it, stoke that fire, let them go out and, you know, reach their generation, you know. And it's not all young people in that group. There's people my age and older. So try to equip them, give them the tools, you know, let them be fearless in that time, okay? So anyway, I also wanted to give you this, and so this would be as just a little tale on that to the shepherds. So in 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 2 through 3, "Shepherd the flock of God which is among you, serving as overseers, not by compulsion, but by willingly." I'm going to start over with that. So, "Shepherd the flock of God which is among you, serving as overseers, not by compulsion, but willingly, not for dishonesty, not for gain, but eagerly, nor as being lords over those entrusted to you, but being examples to the flock." So come alongside them, realize that, you know, that we're all, well, I don't know that we're all equal, but we all equally receive the gift of salvation if we accept it. So, you know, recognize that, and, you know, just be out there and try to nurture what's going on. If there is a revival, this country desperately needs it. We need a national revival. So anyway, I'll leave you guys with that, and hopefully this was good for you if you watched it, and you can take something away from it. Thanks.